Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Real SportsBit. He's at Teddy_Covers. Teddy, you've known Dave since 1998. I'll share a bunch of tweets. Twitter was blowing up. It's incredible that Dave was so well liked and no one was able to say a bad word about him. But if you could just give us an update on what happened with the news coming down Saturday, how long you knew him, and he was doing what he loved.
Sure. I mean, that's the truth of it. They recovered his body on Friday. Dave was hiking up in the mountains. It appears like he took a pretty significant tumble. They don't know yet. There will be an autopsy. They don't know yet if there was a medical issue that caused the fall or if he simply slipped on the ice and fell. But he took a pretty big fall and basically was there until they recovered his body on Friday. So the time of death is approximately 9 a.m. on Saturday, the 14th of April, and that's what what I heard from the family. I was over at the house for most of the weekend.
And this was what he loved to do: nature, hiking, and capturing the oldest living things in the bristlecone pines where he was at, that was what, like 3 hours off the trail where he was at.
Sure. I mean, look, Dave was in unbelievable shape. And when I say unbelievable, I mean like literally he could do hikes that nobody else could do. So what he would do, he would tromp around in the mountains, usually about once a week, a lot of times on Fridays or on Saturdays, depending on his schedule. He would get up there, he'd clear out his day and get up there and tromp around and take pictures and document literally the oldest living things on the planet, these bristlecone pines. He was fascinated with them. He found serenity in the mountains. And he had a whole other life up there that a lot of people that knew him from sports betting really didn't know. That was a big part of his soul. We've certainly seen a lot of the pictures that he's taken come out over the course of the last week or so. And there's going to be like a coffee table book with some of the pictures that Dave has taken over the years of the bristlecone pines up in the mountains.
Do you know about his service? Well, we can find that out and then on that Facebook link.
Yeah, there's a Facebook link. If you follow me on Twitter, obviously at Teddy_Covers. If you follow Pauly on Twitter at Real SportsBit, we'll tweet the link. You can get involved there's a Facebook page where you can share tributes and read what's going on. The family, he doesn't have family that lives in town. He has family from Virginia and then from Idaho. They're going home before they come back to do the memorial ceremony. It's been it's been a tough week. You think it was tough for us. Yeah. It was tougher for them, not knowing for all those days. But they're going to go home. We're going to set up a proper memorial. One would think it'll be in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll have put something together, either here in Vegas, probably here in town, and then maybe do something on the mountain as well. But there will be some type of a public memorial. I just don't have any details on that yet.
Well, here's what we're talking about with how he was so respected by everyone and no one said a bad word about him. Everyone liked him. Bunch of tweets. Brad Powers, getting to know and work with Dave these past few years was an honor and a privilege as a young handicapper new to Vegas. His point blank column was a must read every morning with a cup of coffee. He certainly will be missed. Dave Koken, truly unique in the sports gaming world as so few enjoy virtually universal respect and admiration. He certainly did. His passing is very sad news. Ian Cameron, the ability of Malinsky to educate, inform, and entertain on the shows and guest segments. He appeared on so many topics: sports, food, restaurants, pop culture, music, and so much more is something I will miss about him. He was well-versed in many things. Robert Walker, I left every meeting, lunch, or dinner with Dave a smarter person. He was truly one of the very good guys in the industry. His intellect, humor, and kindness will be missed. Rest in peace. A couple other ones from viewers. People. Here's Paul. I think Paul worked with him at Covers a while back. Dave was one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, could discuss any topic, helped myself and Covers immensely over the years. I will crack a nice bottle of red in your honor tonight. I like this tweet about how he would picture Dave in a white lab coat with the betting screen in front of him, going over stuff as well as he was always to do that. Go ahead.
Do you have more you want to read, Pauly? Because you can. But I mean, the concept here is really simple. And I know most of you, if you didn't know Dave, you still knew his stuff if you watched SportsBet. Obviously, from a graphic standpoint, Dave put the backbone of the show together every day. If you read Point Blank, whatever, his tone. Dave was as good a man as there is on this earth. Okay, legitimately. a good heart, a good soul. I'm not like that, Paulie. You're not like that. You know, we're okay. We're not Dave Malinsky.
No.
Saint Dave, man. And it's a tragedy. I mean, I bawled. I broke down. I went to the family's house and I felt bad. They weren't crying. And I walked in the door and I just broke down, dude. It took me a half hour before I could, even say hello. And I don't watch. I'm not like one of these guys. Oh, I watched Titanic and I start weeping or something. I was bawling. It's a tragedy, and yet we want to celebrate. The bottom line is Dave lived a great life. He lived a life. He's, the most interesting man in the world. He was genuinely loved by everyone that knew him. He didn't have an enemy, not one. And it's amazing. The old school guys, the new school guys, the young guys, the bookmakers, the bettors, universal respect for Dave Malinsky. I'm not going to get that when I die, Paulie. Neither will you. Dave got it and he deserved it. As good a man as I've ever met in this world.
These are
legitimate.
The good point, the fair point there is these are people who've never met him. You're right, but loved him so much on the air and the work he did. Paul Allen, voice of the Vikings, tweeted. Other people from his appearances all over on radio and other spots. So, but you told me for one of the few first times I met you, you got to check out this Point Blank. You're going to find a couple gems in there every day, and you'll be blown away by the information.
And that's, I mean, there's so many wonderful tributes we can talk about with Dave Malinsky. But one of the things that was absolutely the truth when it came to Point Blank. Look, I'm an experienced sports bettor. I've been betting out here in Vegas for 20 years. I was betting before I came out here. Every day I would read Point Blank, and every day pretty much I'd find a tidbit. Oh, really? Oh, let's file that one away. Oh, let's see where the chimes ring for this one. That was a column, Point Blank, that was legitimately valuable for average bettors, for beginning bettors, for intermediate bettors, for advanced bettors. The industry guys read it. I mean, there's no other thing like it. There hasn't been. I haven't seen anyone that is universally admired in the way that Dave Malinsky was. Truly a special individual. And the show will miss him. I will miss him. Paulie, you'll miss him, and everyone that knew him will miss him, and it really sucks. But he, on the other hand, he died doing something he loved, and I give him more. I'd much rather go out that way than go out, sit in a hospital bed somewhere. And I'm sure Dave would say the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. No easy way to transition. No games tonight. We're going to talk about. We do have a Supreme Court update. We'll get to that. We'll kick that around up next, and some good comments from Daniel Wallach on SportsBit 2.0, Betting Insight today on SBRpicks.com.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.